What up, everybody? It's your man Danelle, aka Small Guy Promotions, coming with another podcast episode of What's Up Omaha. In this episode, it's just me, and I just want to talk about it being the season of being grateful and giving and uh, just gratitude for the things that we have. Um, it's the holiday season and it's really tough for a lot of people right now. And we still have to try to find ways to be grateful. Look at things that bring happiness and joy. We know we can't control everything, and you know we have to take advantage of those spots where it's it's very powerful to focus on positive things. And the same light, it's powerful if you're focusing on negativity and negative things. uh, so I know personally I'm not happy 100% of the time, but more often than not I'm happy. And it's because of so many different things, but life in general is good. So I wrote down like a little list to go through of things that I am grateful for because again, 'tis the season, right? So number one on my list is my family, my wife, my two daughters. Though they drive me crazy sometimes, I love them. Um, they bring me so much happiness, and I'm just so happy to to have two wonderful daughters. Aria, Jamila, I love you. Mitzi, I love you. That's my core. That's all I need right there, right? I don't really need anybody else. That's my core. I know we have other family and whatnot, but that's my core. And if I had those three people in my life, no matter what else is going on, like I'm good. So I love y'all. Never forget it. I know we talk about it and I tell y'all every day, but if you happen to catch this episode, I love y'all. Number two. So my father-in-law has been battling cancer for a while now, and he's had a couple of issues, but overall, I know that they feel blessed for every day, and just grateful to be alive. I know it's tough. He's going through different, chemo and radiation, but he's a strong dude. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't even know how to describe my father-in-law, but he's just like he's kind of a jack of all trades, and he's a family man, he's a working man, he's a god-fearing man, and he's just super handy, knows about a lot of stuff. You know Home repairs. He used to do construction back in the day, so he's helped us with home repairs and different things. He's a very handy guy. um, he's done plumbing work for us, concrete work for us. He used to do concrete work on the side of his full-time job for people around his city. They stay out in Hastings, and he used to redo driveways, sidewalks, that sort of thing. Just a real good dude. Always giving back to the community. Always supporting his family and kids and all the things that they are getting into. Real strong dude. Um, and just I don't know, just a good dude. He's a real good man, and one of those people. No one wants. You don't want anyone to get cancer, but he's just one of those people. When when we found out that he got it, you're like, man, not him, like not him, like one of those people. He's always giving through church and whatever else. I don't know, and it's just tough. But grateful to still have him around. Grateful that my kids get to know him. Grateful that my brothers-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my wife get to still talk to him. And though they don't always get to see him because of COVID and everything else, he's still around and doing as well as can be. And I hope that that is the case for years to come, and that he beats this bout of cancer, and it fully goes into remission and whatnot. So shout out to my father-in-law, Jim Henricks. I'm sure you don't watch the podcast, and that's okay. I just wanted to talk about being grateful for you. And I know all the time I may not seem like I'm grateful for people because I'm a grumpy man. And if you follow Small Guy in Omaha Fatty, you may not know that I'm a grumpy guy, but hey, I got my periods of grumpiness. I'm territorial, and I don't always want to be around people. Like when I'm on, but like when I want me time, I get kind of grumpy. So, but yeah, and along that same line, number 3, health. Uh, you know, I'm overall healthy. My wife and kids are overall healthy. It's all you can ask for. Other things could not necessarily be going your way, but we've got health. Never had any major issues, major issues. Like, my wife has, had little things here and there, but overall healthy. We're good, and that's all that you can ask for. Seeing my kids be healthy. I see other kids and other families that struggle with different things, whether it be a disability or just, just getting sick often or whatnot. Like, we have been very fortunate to not have a lot of issues. So always grateful for health. Number 4 on my list, friends. We can't always see our friends right now because of COVID. And as you get older, it's tougher to see friends anyway, because you got so many engagements and responsibilities going on. So, you just kind of lose touch a little bit, but knowing that you have those people who are with you no matter what, it's a wonderful thing. It's a freedom of some sorts, and just knowing you can call on somebody if you had a rough day or whatever it is. Like, hey man, how you doing, man? Oh man, this happened, my job sucks. I'm getting old, so I got back pain, or whatever it is that you want to talk about with your friends, man. It's always cool to have those relationships and know that they'll never go away. Shout out to friends, man. Excuse me. Number 5, and I did 12, because people do 12 days of Christmas and whatnot. So I put 12 things on the list, and it's not necessarily in order, but it kind of is, but it's not exactly this in 1 through 12. These are just things overall that I'm grateful and thankful for. So number 5 is debt freedom. While we still owe on our mortgage, we're paying down principal. We definitely won't have a 30-year mortgage. Unless something catastrophic occurs, we won't have a 30-year mortgage. And outside of that, we don't have any debt. We've got our regular utility bills and groceries and food costs, things like that. But outside of that, we are debt free. We've had a long road to debt freedom. We started listening to Dave Ramsey. I started listening to Dave Ramsey, and I bought his book and read it and shared the information with my friends. And that's the thing too. My core friends, they're debt free also, except for the house, because we talked about finances as friends, and we shared that information with one another. And one of my friends, Joe, he was on the podcast before. He read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and we were like comparing notes of what to do and how to stay out of debt. So, you know, some small debt does come up from time to time. I know for some of us, but even if we do have to take out loans for anything, we typically will pay it off pretty quickly because we don't want that debt hanging over our head. So it's such a relief when you wake up and you know that you don't owe people money. And that's one of the reasons that I think some people may walk around with a chip on their shoulder or be in a bad mood because they are paying they're working however many hours a week and they're not getting to keep most of that money. And it's stressful, like, living check to check. I've done it before, check to check. I've been not smart with my money, and I used to be I guess I'm a compulsive gambler. Once a compulsive gambler, always a compulsive gambler. So it's not always been easy. We've had our issues as well. Um, but I credit my wife for being strong and being focused. Like I'm real like impulsive. So sometimes my focus isn't there, and she's the one to like, hey, this is kind of what we're trying to accomplish. So again, shout out to Mitzi. But if you have the opportunity to be debt free, please take it. I'm telling you, life is a lot different when you don't owe people money every day. Um, Number six on my list, small guy promotions, man. I'm so happy to have creative outlets like Small Guy Promotions and Omaha Fatty because those are things that I really enjoy doing. Yeah, Small Guy came through in the clutch for me at a time that was tough in my life when my dad had passed away, and it gave my life more meaning. I had my wife and I had my kids, but it gave me a creative outlet, and some place to focus negative energy and turn it into positive energy. And it helped me get through that struggle of losing my dad. And I used it as a motivation to push through and continue to live my life as best that I could. So I'm always happy for Small Guy Promotions, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm just appreciative of all the relationships that I've been able to make and grow and foster through Small Guy Promotions and the things that I'm trying to do there. Um, yeah, shout out to anyone who follows Small Guy Promotions. I love you and I appreciate you. Um, Number seven is Omaha Fatty. Omaha Fatty is a spinoff of Small Guy Promotions, so of course I love that as well. Those are my babies. Like, I care for Small Guy and Omaha Fatty, and through these ventures, I've been able to help people. Uh, Even if it was nothing more than just creating some kind of content and inspiring people. Like, people have told me that I have inspired them by them seeing me going out and doing these things and being more than just my 40-hour a week job. People are like, hey, if he's doing it, I can do it too. So they go out and they follow their dreams. And dude, I love that. Like, there's the feeling that you get when someone tells you that you have inspired them on any level is just, it's remarkable. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's remarkable. And shout out to all those people, whether you tell me or not. If I've had any impact, man, I'm grateful for those relationships and being able to have that platform, no matter how big or small my platform is. And it's continuing to grow because I continue to water it and put in effort, and I'm trying. I'm trying. That's the biggest thing, is trying. Um, and along those lines, number eight, we've got the podcast. So if you're watching now, if you're listening now, listen, I love you. Thank you so much for listening to me talk, or having guests on, and and just tuning in. Like, I appreciate it. I know my guests appreciate it. I hope you found some kind of, I don't know, attachment to it, and that you enjoy it when you tune in, that you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get some kind of entertainment today. um and it's been growing. I wrote down the numbers. I should have wrote the reach down, but I think I think 61%, according to Spotify, 61% of this year's listens have been in the United States, and the numbers are going up for subscribers and just the reach. I think it was like up 170% this year, which, when you don't have a lot of listeners, it doesn't take much for that percentage to be so great. So don't get blown away by that percentage. It's just like the audience hasn't been huge and it's just growing. So, but yeah, man, 8,985 listens to the audio podcast. I know that's not a lot for some people, but that's a lot for me. And when I see that number, I am excited. I don't know, that's a lot. And I made a goal for myself to reach 10,000 listens by the end of the year. It's it's almost halfway through the month, so I probably will not make it, just based off of the historical data of how many listens we get per week. It may not happen, and some people may be watching on YouTube instead of listening to the audio podcast, so I have to take that into account as well. But you know what? I feel good. I love what I'm doing. I feel good about every episode that I've done. And we're continuing to improve. So I'm super excited for that. Almost 9,000 listens and closing in on, a goal of mine. So I might reach it a little late, but that's all right. So yeah, if you're listening right now, please share the audio podcast. Please tell people about the What's Up Omaha podcast and help me grow, help my guests grow. That's what it's always about, and continuing to just live my life and follow my dream. YouTube has been getting some decent spins recently. Not like a lot, because I don't have a huge audience, but I did get over 100 subscribers in the last couple of months, and that's exciting. And then, the last few episodes, more people have been listening. So please, whether you're on audio or you're on the visual side with YouTube, please continue to tune in and subscribe and share. Like, if you could share with just one person, or if you're on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, just share the podcast when you see it pop up. And thank you. Oh yeah, and with that too, if you love Omaha Fatty, if you enjoy it, please make sure to go to the website and sign up for the newsletter. So once we start getting more of a following with the newsletter, we can start doing giveaways and things like that. Next on the list, number 9, fun. Who isn't happy about fun? Who isn't grateful for fun? Any opportunity that I am able to have fun, I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for smiling and laughing and whatever. Uh, it's a part of being happiness or happy. It's leading to happiness when you're laughing and you're smiling and stuff, and your signals are going to your brain, and it's just a beautiful thing. So fun, man. This life is short and we don't know when we will exit. So let's have some fun while we can and spread that joy and laughter, where we can. Number 10, every day, man. Every day I'm shuffling. Do, 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 do. Now, number 10 though, every day, life. Like, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for waking up every day. I'm thankful for being able to see my wife and kids every day. Um, Again, that's something that everybody doesn't get to do, especially with COVID going on. Maybe, somebody's in the hospital or a retirement home or whatever. Maybe you have family that's serving and overseas and you can't see them every day, or just whatever, man. Like, I understand that I am fortunate. We have a fortunate life. Like, yes, we've had struggles, but life is still so good. I mean, we're grateful, man. We're grateful. And that's what I try to instill in my kids. Sometimes it's a struggle with kids, man, because they don't see how hard you work for stuff, and they think that you just get things like it's easy to come by, and they're selfish, and like, that's one of the hardest things to instill in them is, listen, we need to be grateful, and that's why we go out and serve, is because we live a great life and everybody else doesn't. So let's try to reach some of those people who are not in the space that we are in. Let's try to help them a bit. uh, Number 11 ties into what I just said: giving and joy. um, we are very fortunate. I know that I may not love my employment, but it has created a path for us to be able to, you know, financially be where we're at in life. And it's not the greatest pay or anything like that, but it's decent pay. And I definitely don't love what I do right now, but I still understand that some people are struggling and don't have jobs, or they don't have jobs that pay what I pay, or maybe they're working two or three jobs just to try to get by. So again, with understanding that we are fortunate and that our life is good, we go out and we give in different ways. Whether it's my wife serving through the church and giving back there, and you know, uh, helping families with the religious education, or it's us actually going out and doing things like ringing the bell for the Salvation Army, or just whatever. Like, my oldest daughter and I used to go down and volunteer every other week at the Open Door Mission in the kitchen. We've tried to take opportunities to volunteer and give back when we can, when we're able to do so, and just want to help other people enjoy life and help other people smile. Um, Even if they're having a tough time, if you can help someone smile just sometime at one point of their day, if you can bring some kind of happiness to someone else, like, it's a beautiful thing, and we will continue to do that and find different ways to do that. I feel kind of bad because we didn't sign up to ring for the um, Salvation Army this year, but I don't know. We still have done other things to give back, and that's the big thing, I guess. I mean, we don't have to always do the same thing. We've done the kettle for years, and maybe I need to. And maybe we still have time to sign up. Maybe I should check into that. I don't know. Um, but we've got, there's a lot going on, even without us doing our normal stuff. My oldest daughter is wrestling right now, so time is limited for things. Um, but yeah, give joy, man. If you can give joy, if you have the opportunity to help someone else, give it a try. See how it feels. Uh, and the 12th one is just, you know, I'm a fat guy. Omaha Fatty. I'm a fat guy. Our pantry. Like, if you take a look at my pantry, I'm one of those people who go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of stuff that I don't need. But it's like also the pantry that when you're a kid, you're like, dude, I'm gonna make sure we always have snacks. So there's always like chips and candy and granola bars or whatever else in our pantry. It's full, and it's way more stuff than we need, let me tell you. Um, but when I was putting food in there yesterday, after I, well, my youngest daughter was with me. After we went to the grocery store, I filled the pantry, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, this is one of those things that I'm like, I enjoy this. I enjoy having 10 boxes of cereal to choose from and whatever else. Like, it's just one of those things that I like. And, we have a bunch of fruit and stuff too. So it's not like we're just always eating snacks, but I do like to have that as an option. And real quick, talking about the grocery store, that, I'm just going to add this in with the fun and the whatever, the joy. We actually did, my youngest daughter, my 9-year old, and I, uh, she's really into food right now, and watching cooking shows and food shows on Netflix or whatever. So I signed her up for a a kids cooking class, and it wasn't actually cooking, but it was more like making a snack. There was a smoothie, there was this little holiday thing with a Ritz cracker or Hy-Vee cracker or whatever it was, with peanut butter and a cherry and some raisins and a pretzel for the antlers. So it was a reindeer. What else did they make? Oh, they made snowmen out of bananas and pretzel sticks and a carrot for a nose and little chocolate chips for the smile and the buttons. Um, and then there was also a Chex Mix, like a holiday mix that the Laura, the dietitian who was in charge of it, who what she created. Um, because of COVID, all the kids couldn't make it, so she just made it up front and gave some out at the or towards the end of the class. Um, but yeah, man, those are 12 things that I'm grateful for. Um, I hope that you find things to be grateful for, and I hope that you enjoy life as much as possible, and that's what it's about, man. So, happy holidays to you and yours. Thank you again for tuning in. I love y'all. Um, please subscribe and share. Smile, help someone else smile. Laugh and help someone else laugh all day, every day. Peace out, y'all. Yeah, yeah.